Hi everyone, I'm back with another Data with Maha video, and today it's a beginner's guide to Tableau on how to connect to data. When I first was learning about Tableau, this really overwhelmed me at the start, so hopefully I can break it down for you. So let's get into it. But before we get started, please don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification button for more data related content coming your way. Now, let's get into it. So when you first open up Tableau for the first time, you'll see something that looks like this. And it can basically be broken down into three panes. We have the Connect pane. We have this Open pane, which is basically all your recently connected workbooks. So you probably won't have as many workbooks as I have up there when you first open Tableau. And then we have a Discover pane. So let's go through the Connect pane. There's four different sections. There's a search for data section, a to a file section, to a server, and save data sources. So we're going to go through all four of them. So let's start with search for data. So this one is where it allows you to connect to a data source that has been published onto your Tableau server or Tableau online platform. So when you select this, it will ask you to log into your Tableau server, and a pop-up will appear with all your data sources available on your server, and you'll be allowed to click and connect to any of those data sources once you have logged into your Tableau server. So the next section is to a file. So this is, I would say, the most common way to connect to a data source. So for example, let's just go through Microsoft Excel. So if we were to click Microsoft Excel, it will take us to a pop-up which basically will let us look through any of our files to find any Excel. So for example, I can select this sample superstore. Our view would look something like this. So if you can see in the left-hand corner, there's three little tables with orders, peoples, and returns. The reason why nothing has been populated is because of those three little tables. So essentially what these three little tables mean is in the actual Microsoft Excel, so let's pull up the Microsoft Excel for Sample Superstore. So you can see here, this is the Excel. You can see those three orders, people, and returns are individual tabs. So all it's saying is it wants you to select which tab you need to bring into Tableau. So for example, in this occasion, I've only dragged and dropped the orders table, and then can you see here, it now shows us a preview of data. So it doesn't show us the people or the returns as we've only dragged in the orders table. Now let's look at what would happen if we select text file and the differences it has between if we were to select Microsoft Excel. So first let's select text file, and in our text file, in our CSVs, we will pick the tomato and potato production, and our Tableau will populate instantly with our tomato and potato production data. The only difference is on the left hand side here, you can see different CSVs being populated, and this will bring back every single CSV that is on the file that you have first selected in. So to reiterate that, the first tomato and potato production, let's say I opened it in file 1, in our Tableau in the left hand corner, every single CSV that is present in our file 1 will be shown in this corner here, which you can essentially drag and drop. But they will all be different CSV files. It doesn't have to be the same thing. So for example, you can see there's like airport codes, and that has nothing to do with our tomato and potato production. So that's the only difference between the Excel and text file. So again, the Excel is looking at the different tabs within the same Excel file, whereas the text file is looking at all the different CSVs in that specific folder you have selected. So, shown all the CSV files in the same location as the ones you have opened. So I hope that makes a bit more sense. Now, let's move on to server. So the server allows you to connect to different database types and cloud-based data. Let's click on this More button at the bottom. it will expand into lots of different database types and cloud-based data. So for example, let us select this Microsoft SQL server. If you select that, a pop-up will appear. And if you want to connect to a specific server, such as this Microsoft SQL server, you would need to provide connection details to a server IP or connection string and a password and username. So once you have given all of that, you can connect to any of the data on your server. So lastly, we have saved data sources. So you'd always have the sample, superstore, and world indicators that are already saved onto Tableau. But if you want to, you can add a new saved data source. So any data source of your liking. So it's just easier to select that instead of going to file or, opening up all the time. So the way to do that is where we would have to first open up our data and then go into one of the sheets. So then you'd right click on your data and select add to save data sources. And then a pop-up will appear and it would let you save that data source into your Tableau repository data sources. So, and then you can see here that it is now saved as a type of a Tableau data source. So once you do that, it would now come under your saved data sources every time you open Tableau. Just before we end this, I'm going to show you a little trick that's very easy to add a file. So let's just go to Tableau. So I've opened up a Tableau, and another way you can input data is if I was to have my data, let's say dog groomers for example, I can literally just click and grab and just drop into here, this open. And then we can see here again, because it is an Excel file, let's say for example I drag in this one, this table, and we can see here that all I have is employees and companies, and then I can start my worksheet and then I can just do my dashboard. It's probably not the best data to use, but it's just an example of a quick and easy click and drag method to connect to a data source. So there we go. And that's it. Thank you for watching, and I hope you subscribe to my channel. So please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.